Good morning, and as this is my first video of the new year, Happy New Year too. I did intend to start making videos a little bit earlier, but as I've not been too well and my lad only went back to school today, I've been kind of stuck and unable to put anything out. But I'm here now and I want to talk about AMD and the fact that, well, they messed up, didn't they? At their CES 2020 conference on Monday, which is yesterday as I'm recording this, Dr. Lisa Su introduced us to a whole raft of products, with some of them, especially the 3990X, being extremely exciting. One part of the conference, though, got Xbox fans very interested and, dare I say it, excited as well. And that was where they showed a render of the Xbox Series X. Now, we've seen renders of the Xbox Series X before from Microsoft, but unlike previous renders, this one was spinning and revealed what looked like the rear I/O of the console, with USB-C and 2 HDMI ports. This appeared to be the first time that the rear of the console had actually been seen, and it led to quite a few news outlets and YouTubers speculating about the inputs and outputs on show. As you can see in the picture, the render shows Ethernet, digital optical out, 2 USB-C and 2 HDMI ports, and also a power input, but then you'd expect that, otherwise it's not going to be able to be turned on, is it? So nothing too controversial there with the introduction of USB-C and the retaining of 2 HDMI ports, one in and one out presumably, both being, well, welcome. Unfortunately for Xbox fans, and possibly even more so for AMD, these images didn't come from Microsoft though. Instead, they came from the website turbosquid.com and are completely fake. In a statement to The Verge, AMD said, "The Xbox Series X imagery used during the AMD CES press conference was not sourced from Microsoft and does not accurately represent the design or features of the upcoming console." So AMD, as I said, messed up. And we, the Xbox community and anybody else interested in gaming in general, well, we all bought it, didn't we? And that led to certain Sony fanboys jumping on the bandwagon and calling out "stupid Xbox" and saying that Sony wins again and other such nonsense. Let's be honest though, AMD are about as reliable a source for information as anyone could hope to find, being that, well, you know, they're designing and providing the hardware for the console. So of course people were going to take these images as genuine. The bigger question perhaps though is, did AMD actually mess up? Or is this just part of some misinformation campaign to keep people guessing about the console right up until its full reveal? And, you know, both are possible. And I honestly don't know. I tend to err on the side of thinking that it was just a simple cock-up. But who knows? You know, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors and what machinations are going on between Microsoft and AMD. Let's be honest though, it doesn't do Xbox any harm. It keeps the console square in the public eye, and it keeps people like me talking about it. And look, whatever the connections are on the final machine, personally, I'd guess that they aren't going to be much different from what we've seen here. We could see one less HDMI port, or maybe more USB ports, or even maybe they aren't going to use USB-C and we'll get just standard USB ports. I would imagine we will see USB-C though, because that's where everything's going. But you know, I can't see much else being different. There's only so much you can put on the back of one of these things, and the connections we're seeing here look fairly reasonable. So I can't imagine the final console will look all that much different, to be honest. But we'll just have to wait and see. I can't imagine it'll be that much longer before we finally find out what's on the back of the console. Either E3 this year or maybe earlier, and I suspect maybe earlier. But again, who knows? The only way you're going to know is if you're on the inside at Microsoft. And if you're on the inside at Microsoft, you ain't going to be telling us, not without being in fear of losing your job anyway. But anyway, look, that's what I think. I think that these connections that we're seeing here, yeah, they're fake, obviously, but they're not that much different from what we're going to see in the final console. But, well, you know, what do you think? Do you think this was a mistake? Or was it planned between Microsoft and AMD just to get people buzzing and talking about it? And what do you think that we'll see on the back of the console when it finally arrives? Will we still have two HDMI inputs and outputs? One in, one out, obviously. Will we see USB-C? Let me know, as I say, in the comments. And as ever, we'll have a chat about it. And in the meantime, I'm going to finish my cup of tea because I've got one here with me now. And as I say, I'll speak to you in the next one. Bye. And Happy New Year again.